Right then, profile time. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Shall we?
Ooh, let's do this.
Well, we're here. I must thank Sam Deeney for pointing this man out to me. That was my stomach. Excuse me. This man. Now you may not have heard of him, but you will do. Jorge Alberto Gonzalez Barrias, otherwise known as Magico Gonzalez.
With a name like that, what else was he going to be?
Exactly.
Magician? Superhero?
He was...
Alright. Could have had 3 jobs then.
That's still not very many.
The man is from El Salvador in Central America and a former El Salvadorian international, as you would imagine. He was born in March 1958.
9 years before the Summer of Love.
He was, yeah. Now, just to start off with, a lot of people in Latin America talk about this man in the same bracket as a lot of the South American and Central American greats, including Diego Maradona. Now, it's a strong start, I know. It's a very bold thing.
He's a striker, this boy, was he?
He was a striker.
He's 52.
Well, he's at number 10, so he
Okay.
can go back, but also he did play up front as well. And Gonzalez, he began his professional career in 1975, he played for a few teams in El Salvador, and he became known as Mago Salvador. Sorry. He became known as Mago Gonzalez. Now, Mago means it's a bit like a wizard in Spanish. So, but later, when he went to Spain, his nickname changed from that to Magico, or Magical, of course. He received his first international cap in 1979. And this was while he was playing club football, of course, in El Salvador, which, as you'd imagine, wasn't the greatest of standards, but where he got noticed was when he took El Salvador to the 1982 World Cup. And this was only the second time in Salvador's history that they got to the World Cup, and I think they became the first Central American team to do so, to get to two World Cups. And an incredible achievement, really. A tiny
for a country their size.
Yeah, that's right. Incredibly poor country as well, no resources. And he was, a huge factor in them getting to the finals. They had an awful start. Their first match, they got beat 10-1 off Hungary. But, the match reports say that actually Gonzalez still had a lot of flashes of brilliance in that game, and he was a real standout player. Apparently the Hungarian keeper was kept a little bit busy.
I don't believe it.
Which is a ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
But, And then the next game, they only lost 1-0 to Belgium. So, which is a win as far as you're concerned if you've just been beaten 10-1.
Literally a defeat.
Yeah. And then they lost 2-0 to Argentina. But respectable scoreline, considering they are El Salvador and they were beaten 10-1 off Hungary. So anyway, after the World Cup, where he showed the world what he could do, albeit in sort of brief flashes, some of the big clubs in Spain were interested. Atletico Madrid were one of them. Strangely enough, he went for Cadiz CF, the team in Andalusia. He went to play for them, and instantly became a fan favourite there. They'd never seen the likes of that man. He was just dazzling moves and brilliant goals, and just unbelievable ball control. When he played, the ball sticks to their feet.
I've seen clips of it, and he is breathtakingly good.
Yeah. He's got a real way with the flick.
Yeah.
As well, in sort of flipping the ball over his own head and just being completely aware of where it's going to land for him.
Yeah.
He clearly was one of those players that just, as you say, just had incredible close control, but not just close control. Sorry, just like he could judge the weighting of a pass, even to himself, so well.
He also had a lot of acceleration, from what I've seen. Just coming out of a trick, it's kind of like, I've done that. I've done all the hard work, but no, he'd bang on as well and beat a play. He spent a lot of the time with the ball behind him, sort of thing. He's dragging it along. It's really hard to defend against that. Very, very hard, because the ball's like a metre further away than it should be.
That's right. Well, you can see why he got the nickname Magico. And comparisons with Maradona were very common with this man. But he usually played in a free role, and loved to glide past players as well. Very easy on the eye was his football playing. The trouble is, though, I think probably one of the reasons why not many people know him was because he never played for any of the so-called big clubs, because he was notorious for his love of the nightlife. He was a party animal, And they said, the fans of Cadiz, they loved Gonzalez. But they did have to overlook some of his minor indiscretions,
This is back when everyone was a party animal as a footballer.
Yeah.
So you must have really had to stand. Yeah, exactly. You must have really had to stand out.
Yeah.
Maybe you just never stopped. He was just doing it in training, stuff like he didn't insist on a disco ball in the changing rooms.
Taking anti-tank missiles to party.
But seriously though, a lot of people, especially the fans of this club. Now I know obviously they're going to be a bit biased, but a lot of the journalists and all said, he could have been one of the greatest players ever. But his just attitude off the pitch just almost sort of prevented that from happening. And of course, some of the big clubs were like, "Well, he's clearly a talent, but flipping heck, he's an absolute nutter as well." He would regularly miss training and even the odd game here and there.
So imagine sorry, go on.
Just imagine anyone not turning up to a game now.
Radachoyu.
Yeah, that's true. He said, "I love going out at night and partying, and not even
admits it,
and not even my mother could dissuade me. I don't like looking at football as a job. If I did that, it wouldn't bother me. I only play for fun."
Well, it is your job.
You're not complaining about that on payday.
No, that's very true. In 83 and 84, Cadiz travelled to the United States to play in a tournament, and in 84 he was the main attraction, of course, in 83. And in 84, Barcelona were there with Diego Maradona, and it was said that Maradona was apparently absolutely in awe of some of Gonzalez's abilities. This guy was incredible. But Barcelona didn't.
Do you mean on the pitch?
On the
what he could drink?
Yeah.
I'd imagine it.
Oh,
would be
he could avoid tax that you wouldn't believe. Brilliant.
Cadiz were relegated in 84, and Gonzalez had attracted interest from Paris Saint-Germain, Fiorentina, and Sampdoria, amongst others. But he opted to stay in Cadiz, and I think he probably thought, "I'm enjoying it here. I get away with murder."
Yeah.
He's realised what type of player and man he is more, and he's stuck there. He did go to Real Valladolid after that, but had a few problems with the managers there, and he went back to Cadiz. Now, well, he left Cadiz because of problems as well. Problems everywhere.
Followed him around.
So Cadiz were a little bit more sensible this time. When he came back, they put a clause in his contract saying that.
I thought you were going to say put a contract out on it.
You step out of line.
Over the top.
They said this man is to be paid per game and not for ones he's missed. And they thought, right, we're going to have you. That was the contract.
Maybe they got him drunk when he signed it.
That's right, yeah. But he played there until the summer of 91. He left in 91 to go back to El Salvador.
He played quite a long time, and to be fair to him.
He was there for a little while. He's absolutely adored by those fans, as you can imagine. And he played a little bit in El Salvador until his retirement. And I should also say, he got 48 international caps for El Salvador, 41 goals.
Come on.
It's exceptional.
It's El Salvador, Jim.
Yeah.
That is an incredible record.
It's El Salvador, Jim.
You know how hard it is to score goals for them.
Yeah.
I've never done it.
That's right.
None of us have.
In 2003, the Salvadorian National Assembly, they gave him the highest honour, and they renamed the national stadium after him.
Nice.
Wow. Incredible, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but they've got no other players.
Well, that makes it even more remarkable.
That's true, yeah.
It's El Salvador, Luke. Keep saying that to everyone.
That's right, indeed. But it's such a shame, really, that he's not well known at all, really, and he didn't play.
Hopefully, he'll be a bit more well known now.
Well, that's
deserved.
That's it. And he just, for being a party animal, really hindered his chances at a bigger club and whatnot. But a lack of professionalism as well, and all that sort of stuff. But a lot of people do say, and this is maybe being a bit generous to the man, that if he was Brazilian or Argentinian or European, he would be more well known.
Well, no, I don't think that is generous, because I think if you play with quality players every time, then you're going to be better. Yeah. It stands to reason. Everyone at any level knows that. If you play a team that you enjoy playing in with lots of good players around you, at whatever level, you perform a lot better. Yeah. I think that'll be the case for him as well.
Well, he is, for those who know him, they consider him one of the greatest footballers of recent years. And he's a close friend of Diego Maradona. Now, if you're still unconvinced, then put this in your pipe and smoke it. Maradona has said that Magico Gonzalez is one of the greatest players in history, and he also stated that had Magico come from Europe or South America, he would have been well known. But Maradona said this, for all you doubters. He said, there is only one man who can do magic with his feet. His name is El Magico Gonzalez. And he's coming into the Windass Hall of Fame.
Come in.
There's only one man who can do magic with his feet.
Magic with his feet.
Magic with his feet.
Magico Gonzalez.
First person to ever be serenaded into the Windass Hall of Fame.
Not at last, we hope.
Well, that's right.